Welcome to the Sun today for the 6th of February 2025. Solar activity remains high. The sunspot number was about 160. In fact, the whole day is very much a repeat of the previous day. We have one new numbered region. The flare activity was exactly the same with 14 C flares and 2 M flares. However, the number of coronal mass ejections registered by SOHO was down to 3. The solar wind speed has increased a little bit to between 400 and 500 kilometers per second, but the Earth's magnetosphere remains quiet, although it does seem to be a little more active than yesterday. We have 12 regions on the disk and one newly numbered region, plus there is a new region growing just south near Sun's center. The main body of sunspots are in the northwest now and approaching the west limb, and so will start disappearing fairly soon. 3985 has not grown very much in the last couple of days, and the 3 new regions, 83, 86 and 87, seem to be single spot regions, which probably means they are the remnants of old mature regions. That coronal hole which we've talked about the last couple of days is now very near Sun's center. It stretches to about 15 degrees in longitude and between minus 20 and plus 30 degrees in latitude. It's a fairly big coronal hole. There's also an interesting extension to the east of it, and we'll see more about when the region rotates further onto the disk. There's another interesting feature here that if you look up near the northern polar region, there is a small coronal hole. Could this be the beginning of the new polar coronal hole? The KP index, a measure of how active the magnetosphere is still relatively low, but it's varying now between 1 and 3, which is a slight increase over the previous couple of days. Once again, geospace looks very quiet, as an identical picture to what we received yesterday, but that may change in the next day or two. As I mentioned earlier, we've had some moderate flaring activity with 2 M flares and a host of C flares. It says 14 in the official record, but I think there are far more there if you look carefully. Let's take a look at the videos of the flares. Most of them are coming from the sunspot regions in the northwest, and as they'll be losing those in the next few days, the flare rates will be dropping. This is a movie in the Solar Dynamics Observatory AIA 94 angstrom channel, which is about 6 million degrees. It's a 24-hour movie for the day of the 6th. CME activity was lower. We had only 3 coronal mass ejections recorded by SOHO, but that again may be a reporting problem. Solar wind speed increasing from 400 to 500 kilometers per second. And so we're going to look at 2 movies of this. One is going to be the SOHO C2 coronagraph movie with SDO AIA helium 304 as the central disk image. And that will be followed by a SOHO LASCO C2 and C3 movie. C3 is the large blue area, which is lower resolution, but you get a much larger view of the sky. Let's see if we can anticipate what's going to happen over the next 24 hours. I imagine the sunspot number will remain stable, may drop a little bit as those regions start to go over the west limb. Flare activity is moderating, so that will probably continue. There may be fewer flares or not so many big flares. The solar wind speed is going to increase in the next day or two because of the influence of that coronal hole, and so we'll therefore see increasing geomagnetic activity. I'm not saying we'll get a geomagnetic storm, but that is possible now. That's it for today. Thank you for listening. Stay safe until next time. Goodbye.